Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Today I'm going to be working with the layered florals from the Christina collection, and this is available at CraftStash. So we're going to be making a really pretty watercoloured flower that we can add to the front of our cards. So I have an A4 piece of watercoloured card, and I've cut that down into a 5x7 piece for the front of my panel. And on this one I'm going to do some stamping and heat embossing with white powder. So from my stamp set I'm choosing the flowers that I want to use on my card. So I'm going to take this one at the bottom, this little star shaped one, and the bigger star shaped one at the top. Now because I want to stamp this more than once, I'm arranging it so that I can use all my card. So I'm placing them in the middle and I'm going to pick them up with the lid. And then we'll stamp up the flowers with the Versamark. Now the beauty of a stamp positioner is as long as you don't move the stamps and you don't move the card, you can always re-stamp that image if you don't get a good impression the first time. And I'm doing this just to make sure that I have lots of Versamark down on my card. Now you can just see the flowers on the card. So I'm going to heat these and then pop my card back into my stamp positioner. So once I have these heated, I'm going to pop the card back into my platform. Now I've left a lot of room around them because I'm going to die cut them out, and I'm going to make a messy watercolour, so it doesn't matter if the colour comes outside the line. But now I'm just going to move this further down so that I can still get my stamped images at the top without interfering with the ones that I've already done. And I'm going to repeat the process of stamping and then sprinkling the embossing powder on them. And once I've got those embossed, I'm going to put my card back into my platform and make sure that it doesn't interfere with the others that I've stamped, and I'm going to stamp some more of the flowers. So once you have all your flowers stamped and heat embossed, you're ready to start watercolouring. And while I have the stamping platform out, I've just done extra flowers that I can always use on another project. So I'm using Gansai Tambi watercolours, and I really don't profess to be an artist. I just do what I like with my paintings. So for this card I'm going to be using a blue colour scheme and of course green leaves, and I'm going to do a wet in wet technique. Now these flowers will be die cut with the matching dies, so I'm not bothered about whether or not I go outside the line. So I'm just putting plenty of water down, and then I'm going to pick up the pigment from the palette. And we're just going to drop this into the water and let the water do the work. So once you have your flowers done in the colours that you want, you're going to cut them out with the corresponding dies. Once you have your flowers cut, you can decide which ones you want to use. So I'm bringing back in my stamping platform and the piece of card that I created to use as the mat on my base card. So now I'm going to place the flowers that I want in the arrangement that I think I would like in my card and see how I like them. So once I have those leaves in place, I'm going to pick them up with the lid. And now I can move the flowers. But to make sure that I put my flowers back in exactly the same place, press and seal. So you press that down onto your flowers and then you can remove them all in one go. So we'll just pop those over there and we'll stamp the leaves with Versamark and sprinkle them with white powder. So once those leaves are heated, I can pop this back into my platform and I can pop the flowers back in place and I can see where they will lie. And then with the stamps, I can rearrange where I want the stamps on my design and repeat the process of lifting the flowers and stamping and heat embossing the leaves. Now with the leaves embossed in the position that I want them, I'm going to colour these with the watercolours, but this time I need to be a little bit more careful because this is going to be the background to my card and I don't want to come outside of the lines. So I'm just going to work within the embossed area. This down a little bit and round off the corners so that it fits onto the front of your chosen base. Now I couldn't decide whether I wanted mine on a grey base or a white one. Now I think for me it's going to be the grey base. So now you can bring your flowers back in and decide which of them you want raised and which of them you want flat. So we'll just take the press and seal off. Now before I add the flowers, I just want to add some shape into the petals. So this is going to be flat glued at the top along there. So I'm going to add some foam pads to this. But to this one we'll add a double layer of foam. Now we'll slot this one under there and then we'll add the other two. That one goes at the bottom. Let's just shape the petals on this one. So I think we'll add a single layer of foam pads to this and slot it along there, and then we'll add another double layer of foam to that one and add that to the top. So I've added some sequins to match the colour scheme, and from this little lawn fawn die I'm going to cut the words "for you," and I've cut them several times, but with the last one I'm going to watercolour this card in the same colours I've used there, and that will be my top layer. So there's my sentiment in place, but in my stash I've found a little heart to die, and from the leftover watercolour card I've just cut some hearts out, and I'm going to add these to my card as well. So there's the finished card, and that's done in a lilac and blue colour scheme, and there's one done in pink and yellow, and I think they are really pretty cards. I've used the layered florals die and stamp set that's available in the Christina collection with CraftStash. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.